Welcome to EPG Pathshala on the subject Social Medicine and Community Health. I am Professor C.P. Mishra, working in the Department of Community Medicine, Institute of Medical Sciences, Banaras Hindu University, and I shall be discussing the module Indian Public Health Standard, which has been divided into 1 and 2. This module belongs to the paper Healthcare Delivery System. The module has been developed by a team comprising of myself as principal investigator, and the paper Healthcare Delivery System has been coordinated by Professor Nazam Khalid, who is a professor at the Department of Community Medicine, Jawaharlal Nehru Medical College, Aligarh Muslim University, Aligarh. The content has been written by Dr. Ufi, Assistant Professor in the Department of Community Medicine, Aligarh Muslim University, and content has been reviewed by Professor Nazam Khalid of the Department of Community Medicine, JN Medical College, AME. The learning objectives that have been set for this module is that after this session, one should be able to understand need for a proper set of guidelines for running an institution, and Indian Public Health Standard guidelines for sub-centers and to learn the essential services provided by a sub-center, and Indian Public Health Standard guidelines for PSCs and to learn the essential services provided by PSC. Indirectly, it means that after going through this, one should be able to conceptualize what Indian Public Health Standards are and what the guidelines have been envisaged for sub-center and primary health centers under IPHS, and also one should be able to identify the essential services that are provided at sub-center and primary health center. In India, primary health centers and sub-centers have been mooted as the principal structure who will provide primary health care in the rural India. India has created a network of primary health centers and sub-centers, and these centers are supposed to be the pillars in the provision of primary health care to the rural masses. But unfortunately, it was realized later on that the performance of these public health institutions, peripheral institutions, had been not up to the mark. And therefore, the need and concept of Indian Public Health Standards was evolved, and this IPHS has set a guidelines that what should be the minimum services that should be delivered by these institutions, what should be the infrastructure, what should be the human resource at these places, and in order to provide quality services. Indian Public Health Standards are a set of guidelines recommended for various healthcare delivery systems from periphery to the district level. Indian Public Health Standards was given during the year 2007, immediately after the launching of National Rural Mission in 2005, which were revised again in 2012, keeping in view the changing protocols of the existing programs, and the programs have been revised from time to time, and therefore the requirements and facilities and works that are expected from these centers also change. For the simplicity of readers, we have divided IPHS, that is Indian Public Health Standard Guidelines, into two parts. Part 1, which will cover sub-center and PSC, while Part 2, that is next module, will deal with the IPHS guidelines for CSC, sub-district hospitals, and district hospitals. Now, we will be discussing the first component, that is Indian Public Health Standard Guidelines for sub-center. As we all know that sub-centers are the first contact of public with the healthcare provider for providing primary health care. And a sub-center caters to a population of 5,000 in plain area and 3,000 in hilly, tribal, and difficult and remote areas. The primary focus of sub-center remains the reproductive and child health services, but it is actually pivotal for many other programs and many other activities. In order to provide quality care at sub-center, IPHs were formulated to provide basic, promotive, preventive and few curative primary health care services to the community and achieve and maintain an acceptable standard of quality of life. The purpose is that these centers must be able to provide integrated services to the population they are covering, and for that purpose IPHS guidelines have been made. Objectives of Indian Public Health Standards for sub-centers are: number one, to specify the minimum assured services that sub-center is expected to provide through this facility. So a minimum set of services that has to be provided by each and every sub-center that has been specified. To maintain an acceptable quality of care for these services, whatever services that are being rendered, their quality of care must be maintained, and to facilitate monitoring and supervision of these facilities, to make the services provided more accountable and responsive to the people's needs. Unfortunately, in previous years we recognized that most of the public health institutions, they are not sensitive enough to the people's need, and therefore Indian Public Health Standards have taken into account that we should be very accountable and we should be responsive to the people's needs. Basically, sub-centers can be classified into two ways. Type A, don't conduct deliveries or delivery, and type B, conduct deliveries essential newborn corner, or conduct delivery where it is less than 20. Now, so sub-centers have been of the two types, type A, type B, and it is based on the principle of whether they conduct deliveries or don't conduct deliveries. Now, the services provided by a sub-center are maternal health care, and maternal health care comprises of antenatal care, intranatal care, postnatal care. Antenatal care provides a package of early registration, that is in the first trimester of pregnancy, 4 antenatal visits, general examinations and relevant investigation and screening of high-risk group. Whereas the intranatal care emphasizes on promotion of institutional deliveries and skilled attendance at birth at home in case of home deliveries, and for type B sub-centers managing labor and also postnatal care. The next component of provision of health services belongs to child health care, which talks of essential newborn care, and essential newborn care particularly takes of warmth and prevention of sepsis and so on, which are the things that may contribute to neonatal mortality. So essential newborn care, immunization services, particularly the children which are born at the institutional level, they may be provided, they are provided BCG and polio zero. Once a month clinic by the PSC medical officer has to also envisaged at the sub-center level. Adolescents, which comprises of 10 to 19 years, and school health services, these areas were missing links in the provision of services, and it is envisaged that sub-center will play a very pivotal role in provision of services to the adolescents and school health children who are in the schools. Endemic diseases and disease surveillance under IDSP, that is Integrated Disease Surveillance Project at sub-center level. This is an important activity. Endemic diseases are those diseases which are habitually present in the local area, and IDSP has identified a set of diseases that has to be monitored at a regular basis and non-regular basis. Water and sanitation has been under the purview of total sanitary campaign of National Rural Mission has been an important component. Then outreach or field services. In this, most important thing is observation of village health and nutrition day. On that day, a package of services including provision of antenatal care, identification of nutritional status of babies, and also provision of giving vitamin A and other essential services. So nutrition, health, village nutrition and health nutrition days is an important event in improving the health and nutritional status of children and pregnant women. Home visits is essential, particularly during antenatal period is one visit, and during postnatal on 0-3 is in the institution, whereas 7th and 48 visits are home visits and house-to-house survey, particularly once in a year to record eligible couple in a particular area, and also to find out socio-demographic changes that has taken place over a period of 1 year. Training at sub-center level, particularly training of birth attendants and accredited social health activists and community health volunteers. This is also desired. Sub-centers plays a very important and pivotal role in various national health programs like National AIDS Control Program, and in which the major emphasis is on provision of IEC drives, information, education and communication drives, and also referral of cases. National Vector-Borne Disease Control Program, and particularly this refers to malaria, this refers to fileria, particularly line listing of cases, and also MDA, that's Mass Drug Administration, are observing National Fileria Day. That becomes very important. And dengue and other prevention of dengue and other conditions, that is the mosquitogenic conditions. So people are made aware how to prevent dengue in their own area. National Leprosy Eradication Program, NLEP. Here the emphasis is that identification of leprosy cases and bringing them the ambient of treatment. And National Device Tuberculosis Control Program, particularly DOTS strategy, that DOTS stands for Directly Observed Short Course Therapy, Directly Observed Therapy Short Course. And DOTS has become a very efficient functioning of DOTS has become a major input in the success of National Tuberculosis Control Program. The sub-centers also play a very vital role in National Program for Control of Blindness and detection and referral of these cases. National Program for Prevention and Control of Deafness is one area where sub-centers are involved. National Mental Health Program, National Program for Prevention and Control of Cancer, Diabetes, Cardiovascular Diseases and Stroke. Particularly in this, the identification of behavioral factors and also the extent of obesity and educating people about lifestyle diseases, particularly behavioral modification in terms of no smoking, no alcohol, 5 servings of fruits and vegetables, 30 minutes of vigorous exercise, that is on every day and in the morning and so on. National Iodine Deficiency Disorder Control Program. This program emphasizes upon two important components. One, the consumption of iodized salt, which contains potassium iodate, and also since the quality of the salt that are being consumed can be tested through MBI kit, and we can tell the community members whether the salt consumed by them that contains enough iodine or not. Then National Tobacco Control Program. Tobacco has been identified as a great menace in the youth, and tobacco consumption in any form, either in smoking or in chewable form, is an important cause of cancers, and therefore tobacco consumption of tobacco in any form, either in the form of smoking, either bidis or cigarettes, or consumption in the form of canning, gutka and so on, that has to be curbed. Disability prevention is an important function and of the sub-centers also. Those persons who are disabled, they can be taken care of. They can appropriate services, whatever rehabilitative services, what are referral services that are required, that should be there, that should be taken care of. Now, in order to deliver these services, human resource is vital. And the human resource that has been suggested by IPHS, it varies from subcenter A and subcenter B. In subcenter A, there should be essential staff is ANM or health worker female 1 and health worker male 1 and 1 Safai Karmachari part-time. In subcenter A, the desirable staff is that 1 more health worker female or ANM may be posted. Whereas in subcenter B, where MCS subcenter, that is also known as MCS subcenter, or where delivery services are taking place, 2 ANMs or health worker females are essential, and 1 health worker male must be in position, and 1 Safai Karmachari full time should be there. However, it is also desired that if number of deliveries at the subcenter is more than 20 or more in a month, 1 staff nurse or ANM, if the staff nurse is not available, is desired in subcenter B. ANM posted subcenter is also called basic health worker. The physical infrastructure, a subcenter should have its own building. If that is not possible immediately, should be rented. Subcenter to be located within the village for providing easy access to the people and safety of the ANM. This safety of the ANM is also very important because at many places we have seen that the ANMs are not staying at the place of subcenter because the ANM has been, because the subcenter has been created outside the village, and therefore the question of their safety comes. As far as possible, no person has to travel more than 3 km to reach the subcenter. Type B subcenter, where deliveries are taking place, should have a own labor room with 1 labor table and a newborn corner to take care of the newborn and a room with 2 or 2-4 beds. Residential facilities for 1 ANM should be also provided so that she stays there 24 hours, because in the provision of maternal and child care, the time is, there is no predestined time fixing. Anything can happen at any time, and therefore ANM must stay at the place of work. Supportive services in the form of laboratory services, minimum facilities for urine pregnancy testing, estimation of hemoglobin, urine test for the presence of protein and sugar by using dipstick should be available. Electricity, wherever facility exists, uninterrupted power supply should be there. Water, adequate and safe water supply and water storage facility should be there. And in type B subcenters, where deliveries are taking place, landline telephone facility should be provided, and there should be provision of toilets in the subcenter. Record maintenance and reporting, proper maintenance of records of services provided to subcenters, and the morbidity, mortality data is necessary for assessing the health situation in the subcenter area. Because it is important that one should understand where they stand in terms of the programs, and that cannot be done without adequate and sufficient record maintenance. In addition, all births and deaths in the subcenter should be documented, and successive births should be monitored and reported. So, after discussing IPHS guidelines for subcenters, now we are proceeding to Indian Public Health System guidelines for primary health center. Primary health center concept came very early in other countries, but the concept of primary health care in India was given by Board Committee in 1946 as a basic health unit to provide an integrated curative preventive health care to the rural population. PSC is the first contact point between rural community and a medical officer. Indian public health standards for PSC have been prepared, keeping in view the resources available with respect to functioning requirement of PSC, with minimum standards as far as building is concerned, manpower, instruments, drugs, and other supplies, so that the services can be optimized. The standard prescribed for PSC is to cover 20,000 population in hilly tribal areas and 30,000 population in plain areas, and the PSC is expected to have 6 beds. Objectives of Indian Public Health Standards for Primary Health Center: IPHS is expected to provide comprehensive primary health care to the community through the PSCs. To provide comprehensive primary health care to the community through PSCs. To achieve and maintain an acceptable standard of quality of care at primary health center level and to make the services more responsive and sensitive to the needs of the community. There are two types of PSCs. Type A, PSC with delivery load of less than 20 deliveries in a month. So we can have two types of PSC. A PSC with a delivery load of less than 20 deliveries in a month, and type B PSCs where the delivery load is of 20 or more deliveries in a month. So type B PSCs have a delivery load of either 20 or more than 20. Services to be provided by PSC. The PSC is supposed to provide the first and foremost medical care on outpatient departments or OPD services, 6 hours of OPD services for 6 days in a week. It is expected to provide 24-hour emergency services. There are some problems in provision of 24-hour emergency services. However, it is envisaged by Indian Public Health Standard guidelines that there should be 24-hour emergency services and inpatient services 6 days, 2 hours focused for male and female. The second important component is maternal and child health care, including family planning. In antenatal, the key things that have been to be taken into account is the early registration, 4 antenatal checkups, laboratory investigations, identification and management of high risk cases and referrals as per guidelines. Internatal care, 24-hour delivery services for promotion of institutional deliveries, management of normal deliveries, assisted vaginal deliveries, and minimum 48 hours of stay after delivery. This was 24 hours in the case of such center. The postnatal care, home visits by ANM, particularly on the 7th day and 42nd day. Initiation of early breastfeeding within 1 hour in case of normal delivery and within 4 hours in case of cesarean delivery, cesarean section. Counseling in respect to nutrition, breastfeeding, family planning, exercise, and so on. Newborn care, facilities for essential newborn care and resuscitation, because we all know that in the most important causes of losing a newborn is hypothermia, sepsis, and also hypoxia. And this can be taken care of by having a newborn corner at primary health center, and also promoting kangaroo mother care and also keeping the child covered and so on. Management of sick newborn and prompt referral. So at the PSC level, basic management can be taken care of, and if there is a need, then prompt referral can be done. Care of the child, routine and emergency care of sick children, including IMNCI strategy, counseling on exclusive breastfeeding and complementary feeding, and third, assessing the growth and development of the child, full immunization, vitamin A prophylaxis, prevention and control of routine childhood diseases. In family planning, the activities basically revolves on IEC to adopt appropriate family planning methods, information, education, and communication. Provision of contraceptives such as condom, oral pills, emergency contraceptives, IUD insertions, referral and follow-up services, and permanent methods like tubal ligation, vasectomy, no scalpel vasectomy. Medical termination of pregnancies, counseling and appropriate referral for safe abortion services, MTP using manual vacuum aspiration, and timely referral for the second trimester MTP. Management of reproductive tract infections and sexually transmitted diseases, adopting syndromic approach. Nutrition services, diagnosis and nutrition advice to the malnourished children, pregnant women, diagnosis and management of anemia and vitamin A deficiency, and coordination with ICDS, that is Integrated Child Development Services scheme. School health, screening and referral, in which teachers can play a very vital role. Immunization, deworming, midday meal, and so on are important activities that has to be taken in collaboration with the school departments by the primary health centers. Adolescent health care, counseling, STI, RTI management, promotion of safe drinking water and basic sanitation, prevention and control of locally endemic diseases, and particularly like dengue, malaria, Kala-Azar, JE, and so on. Collection and reporting of vital events, that's birth, deaths, migration, and so on. And health education and behavioral change communication. To bring, because people must be made aware about various preventive strategies. They must be made aware about what are the services that are available they can utilize in different conditions, and so on. Participation in other national programs, revised National Tuberculosis Control Program. The PSC acts as a functions as a dot center, collection and also collection and transportation of samples many times. It can act as also microscopy center. National Leprosy Eradication Program, diagnosis and management of leprosy and its complications including reactions. Integrated Disease Surveillance Project that includes provision of laboratory services for diagnosis of malaria, tuberculosis, and water testing. National Program for Control of Blindness is an important activity, and similarly is the National Vector-Borne Disease Control Program in general, and National AIDS Control Program, IC activities, condom promotion, distribution, and so on. And also, PSC takes part in the National Mental Health Program and National Program for Control of Diabetes, Stroke, and Cancer, and so on. Referral services are an important component because PSC, though it provides curative care, but at the same time, it must refer cases for onward transmission. Training of medical students and intern doctors, where if it is attached to a medical college, male and female health workers, ASHA, basic laboratory and diagnostic services. It provides routine urine, stool, and blood tests, diagnosis of RTI, STDs, gram stains, and so on, and blood smear examination for malaria parasite, blood for grouping and RS typing, rapid test for pregnancy, rapid test kit for fecal contamination of water, and estimation of chlorine level. Monitoring and supervision are important component of primary health centers. Monitoring and supervision of activities of sub-center, monitoring of all national health programs, monitoring activities of accredited social health activists, health educators will monitor all IEC and BCC activities. Health assistants, male and LFB should visit sub-centers once a week. Timely payment of JSY, Jani Suraksha Yojana beneficiaries, and timely payment of TADA to ASHAs. These are some of the important activities. As far as infrastructure is concerned, a primary health center, it should have its own building, centrally located, easily accessible area, facilities for electricity, all-weather road communications, adequate water supply and telephones must exist. There should be 6 beds, separate wards for male and females, labor room with newborn care corner, residential facilities for medical officer, nursing staff, pharmacist, laboratory technician, and other staff, computer with internet connections, the transport facilities with assured referral linkages to be provided. As far as manpower is concerned, Type A, where the number of deliveries is 20, the essential staff is 1 MBBS medical officer, accountant cum data entry operator 1, pharmacist 1, nurse midwife staff nurse 3, health worker female 1 from the sub-center area of the PSC, health assistant male 1, health assistant female lady health visitor 1, health educator is desirable, laboratory technician 1, multi-skilled group D worker 2, and sanitary worker watchman 1. So total 13 staffs are required in Type A as essential, and desirables are 5 staff, 1 medical officer IUs, 1 pharmacist IUs, nurse midwife staff nurse 1, and health educator 1, and cold chain vaccine logistic assistant 1. In Type B primary health centers, where deliveries are more than 20, essential staff is 14, and desirable staff are 21. The essential staff is medical officer MBBS, accountant cum data entry operator 1, pharmacist 1, nurse midwife 4, health worker female 1, health assistant male 1, health assistant female 1, laboratory technician 1, and multi-skilled group worker 2, and sanitary worker cum watchman 1. Desirables are one additional medical officer, preferably female, medical officer are Ayush, pharmacist Ayush, nurse midwife 1, then health educator 1, laboratory technician 1, and sanitary worker cum watchman 1. Quality assurance is one key. Periodical skill development training, standard treatment protocol to be made available. Monitoring of PSC functioning is an ongoing process. Accountability for accountability, charter of patients' rights should be made available. Rogi Kalyan Samiti, Primary Health Center, Management Committee, and so on. Just to summarize, Primary Health Center is the cornerstone of rural health services, the first port of the qualified doctor of the public sector in rural areas for curative, preventive, and promotive health care. It acts as referral unit for sub-centers, 6 in number, and refers out cases to CSC, Community Health Center. Standards are the main driver for continuous improvement in the quality. Indian public health systems for PSCs have been revised keeping in view of the resources available with respect to functional requirements such as building, manpower, instrument and equipment, drugs and other facilities. These standards would also help monitor and improve the functioning of the PSCs. Finally, thank you very much for visiting EPG Pathshala.